Radio Chengelu so that maybe one will cross. Kindly be informed that we're also streaming live on the Radio Chengelu Facebook page. Good afternoon. With the main news, I'm Justina Matandiko Mokoka. The headlines. UPND chairperson for Mines Percy Chanda declines to comment on safety measures at Black Mountain. Wama warns of possible floods in Chinga, Eastern and Copperbelt provinces, and Zambia women national team to face Namibia. And now the main news in detail. As preparations to resume mining operations at the Black Mountain continue, there have been talks of safety concerns after the death of about 10 miners in June 2018. During the mining activities in 2018, many stakeholders expressed concern on the safety measures at the Black Mountain before it collapsed. One such stakeholder expressed concern on safety issues was then Opposition United Party for National Development UPND chairperson for Mines, Percy Chanda. However, Mr. Chanda, who is still holding the same party position, has refused to comment on the resumption of operations at the Black Mountain, saying it would be difficult and unfair for him to comment on a matter he is not part of.
What was done. So it will be very unfair for me to comment on the issue that I've got very little information on. No, I said it will be very difficult for me to commit myself to anything because I'm not part and parcel of the process.
Former ambassador to Ethiopia, Emmanuel Mwamba, has called on the church to protect the sanctity of marriage by opposing the proposed amendment to the Penal Code to remove criminalization of bigamy. It is reported that there are plans to table before Parliament amendments to Section 6 of the Penal Code, which will, among other provisions, remove criminalization of termination of pregnancy and bigamy. This follows Zambia Law Development Commission ZLDC proposal that the laws on bigamy and termination of pregnancy be repealed. But speaking in a statement, Ambassador Mwamba has described the proposal to amend Section 6 of the Penal Code as a threat to family values and the Christian standing of Zambia. Mr. Mwamba fears that the proposed amendments were alarming because if passed, they will allow men to have multiple marriages and drive Zambia to a state of immorality and lack of respect for human life. The Water Resources Management Authority WAMA has warned of possible floods in Mochinga, Eastern and Copperbelt provinces with various magnitudes which came into effect yesterday, 21st February 2022. WAMA says flood focus system has registered 13 triggered points, which include 7 on the Luangwa River, 3 on the Kafue River, and 3 on the Chambeshi River network. According to WAMA Public Relations Officer Mubiana Nangwendo, the high rise in the Luangwa River is likely to affect the following districts: Chama, Lundazi, Petaoke, Nimba, and Luangwa. He adds that Chambeshi River floods will affect Kanchiwia, Mungwi, and Shiwangandu districts, while Kafue River floods are likely to affect Mpatamatu and Mpongo districts. Mr. Nalwendo said details of the report are that Luangwa River in Chama district is currently experiencing a gradual rise in river flow and will keep increasing until around 2nd March 2022. He further said that areas likely to be affected include Morokwe Village and Tembo Village. The Young Women Christian Association, YWCA, is challenging parents and guardians to seek help when their children come in conflict with the law. YWCA Copperbelt Regional Coordinator Sharon Mambo says some parents do not know how to deal with the situation and the juvenile suffers in the end. She says there are numerous organizations that provide legal aid to juvenile offenders and the onus is on parents to approach the organization.
Yeah, as parents, I think it's our role to ensure that we find service providers who can help out in terms of legal aid when a child is in conflict with the law. Because as a parent, we know they don't have the know-how, the legal background where they can be able to pursue a case on their own. So it's important that the parents themselves they take it upon themselves. They still within the district where they are. I think now in Zambia there's no district where there's no social welfare. So social welfare departments in the country, but those give social protection for the children who come into home with the law. So it's not as on the parents, but they are put those officers so that they help them in the procedures of whatever cases.
A civic leader in Chilawombe has revealed that a public school will be constructed in Yotam Ward to cater for the growing number of pupils. Speaking to Radio Ichengelo News, Yotam Ward Councillor Joy Yombwe said the school will be constructed using Constituency Development Fund (CDF). Councillor Yombwe said the ward has had no government school and only boasts of a community school. He added that some roads in the ward will also be worked on using Ward Development Fund.
School, government school so we are like that this year we are going to construct a new school. School government number priority standard number 1. And through CDF we are going to start constructing the school new. Then again twalambo kubombera kamisebo shalimba okasana twalambo kama West of Mons Musebo kuri White Fund this year. So yonke twitwere 120 yosebo afimkuamya musebo yesu ya mwadi.
In business news, Ndola Chamber of Commerce has called on government to come up with long-term intervention to stabilize the Kwacha. Speaking to Radio Ichengelo in Ndola, Chamber President Paul Chisunka said his association has noted with concern the instability in the local currency. Mr. Chisunka said government should create an enabling environment that will promote local industries and bring in foreign exchange to create stability in the Kwacha. He said an increase in export would also help and stabilize the local currency.
The key lies in ensuring that we create an enabling and conducive environment that promotes local industry. Because once local industry is strong, then you're going to have higher productivity. Once you have higher productivity, you will now have industries that are able to export, and those are going to bring in forex, which is going to act as a shock absorber to the currency instability, and is also going to help increase our reserves as a country. Beyond that, of course, there will be employment generation, and we will also be further diversifying and industrializing our country.
Meanwhile, Kitso's business executive Wadam Fonka says the variation of the local currency against the US dollar has an adverse effect on the business community. Mr. Mfonka noted that those importing and exporting material have been affected to the point that the growth of their business is unpredictable. Speaking to Radio Ichengelo Business News, Mr. Mfonka wishes that the local currency stabilizes for the growth of the business to benefit many people.
The currency is something right now, and is happiness, especially when you get paid at this point in time, you can take the much money. But we're looking forward to when it's going to stabilize. As I said earlier, we can go up to 60% stabilizes. This year thing is really a problem because in terms of us who are importing and exporting, so it's always changing. But so far so good.
Today at Access Bank, the dollar is buying at 17 kwacha 14 ngwe and selling at 17 kwacha 75 ngwe. At Access Bank, the dollar is buying at 17 kwacha 44 ngwe and selling at 17 kwacha 77 ngwe. While at Standard Chartered Bank, the dollar is buying and selling at 17 kwacha 38 ngwe and 17 kwacha 73 ngwe, respectively. The exchange rates are courtesy of the Bank of Zambia website. In sports, the Zambia women national team this afternoon faced Namibia in a must-win 2022 Women's Africa Cup qualifier in South Africa. Zambia and Namibia are clashing in the second leg of their qualifier at the Bonsfield Stadium in Soweto at 15 hours. In the first leg, the two teams drew 0-0 at Nkoloma Stadium in Lusaka last Wednesday. Ahead of the match, Zambia coach Bruce Mwape said the Xipolopolo will beat Namibia and qualify to the Africa Cup that takes place in July.
Our team is ready. In fact, we started preparing
just after the first game that we played, and the last day of our training will be today, this afternoon. And the importance, of course, of this competition, or rather the game, is that we want to qualify to the Africa Cup of Nations. Once we qualify to the Africa Cup, our target now will be the World Cup.
This news broadcast comes to you in the community service of Radio Ichengelo with compliments of News Milling. And our international news is monitored from BBC.
The prospect of conflict in Ukraine and retaliatory sanctions against Russia has prompted a sharp rise in energy prices. The cost of Brent crude, an international benchmark, rose above $99 a barrel. Wholesale gas prices are also up. Much of Europe relies heavily on Russian gas imports. Leading natural gas producers are discussing how to meet a surge in demand at a meeting in Qatar. In Moscow, the main stock market indicators are sharply down. Britain has promised tough sanctions against Russia. The Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, is due to announce the measures in Parliament shortly. He gave some initial details.
We will immediately institute a package of economic sanctions, which I think as people would expect, targeting not just entities in Donbass and Lugansk and Donetsk, but in Russia itself, targeting Russian economic interests as hard as we can. This is, I should stress, just the first barrage of UK economic sanctions against Russia, because we expect, I'm afraid, that there is more Russian irrational behaviour to come.
The Russian Foreign Minister, Sergei Lavrov, has dismissed the threat as being a predictable response. The Taliban say they're creating an army that will include soldiers and officers who served Afghanistan's previous government. A senior military official overseeing the army's formation said the move was part of an amnesty for everyone linked to the last administration. The Afghan military disintegrated when the Taliban took control in August.
And that item brings us to the end of our main news. We take a look at the headlines once again. UPNG chairperson for Mines, Percy Chanda, declines to comment on safety measures at the Black Mountain. Wama warns of possible floods in Machinga, Eastern and Copperbelt provinces. And Zambia women national team to face Namibia. Dear friends, for these and more stories, you can visit our Facebook page. And remember to play your part in the fight against the coronavirus pandemic by adhering to the safety guidelines as outlined by the Ministry of Health and the World Health Organization. Wear a mask when in public, avoid large groups and maintain a social distance. Avoid unnecessary movements, wash your hands frequently for at least 20 seconds. Cover your cough or sneeze with a flexed elbow, handkerchief or tissue. And if you can, do take the vaccine. On behalf of the entire news team and Constance Kalunga, our sound technician on duty, my name is Justina Matandikum. Have a wonderful afternoon.